Hello everybody, vidium here, and I'm doing a very special video for me. I haven't done a video like this in quite a while, so finally I've been tagged once more. I haven't been tagged in a very long time, and I've been tagged by one of my biggest friends here on YouTube, Sandamtod. He actually tagged me on a video, share a gaming memory or story. Gaming memory that you have, or a very important story that you may have about a great moment in your life with video games. It has to be with video games. So I really love tag videos, so I said yes, I'm gonna do it no matter what. So I really have one very important story, and it is my biggest video game memory of all time. I actually mentioned this in one of my oldest videos. I made a video. I have old videos about my gaming systems, and I made one for my Sega Genesis, and I actually told the story of how I was able to get my Sega Genesis and the reason why I really wanted a Sega Genesis at that time. But inside that story is a second story, which is my favorite and greatest video game memory of all time, and it has to be with this game, Sonic the Hedgehog. This is my original copy of Sonic, which I had since the game came out. And the reason why this game has to be with my greatest video game memory is because this is the game that actually made me want to buy a Sega Genesis. This is the game that who was responsible for me to jump from Nintendo to Sega. As you know, back in the time when the NES was very popular, not everybody had a Sega Master System. Well, at least in my neighborhood, all the kids in my neighborhood actually had an NES. I only, if I can remember, I believe that I only knew just one kid that actually had the Sega Master, and it was a kid that went to school with me. And I believe that he was the only one that I actually knew that have a Sega Master System. In that time, not many people knew about the Sega Master System. Why? Because the NES was the most popular video game system in that time. I knew about the Sega Master System because I was able to play with the Sega Master System. Most of the time was on Kmart. I don't know if you can remember, on Sears and other stores, they have this big box, like a jukebox, that have different NES games, and you can actually choose which game you want to play. It will allow you to play for a limited amount of time that particular video game. So the Sega Master actually has that same thing, and they have it on my local Kmart. And that was the place where I actually played the most the Sega Master. When I was able to play it, I remember playing Rocky. I remember playing Black Belt on that Sega Master System. Now the thing is that in that time, the NES was more popular. If you actually had a Sega Master System back in that day on my neighborhood, and you didn't have an NES, you were a nobody, because the system to have was the NES. If you actually have an NES and the Sega Master, you were a god to all of us. So the thing is that I didn't actually jump into the Sega system or anything like that, because the NES was more popular. All the kids actually have the NES. So when the Genesis came out, nobody actually rushed to buy the Sega Genesis, because all that we have in our minds was the NES. Until one day, and I remember that I was in my room, I have my old TV, a 13-inch color TV, and I was watching all my shows that I used to watch at night, and all of a sudden, this commercial comes on, and it is a commercial for Sonic the Hedgehog. And in this commercial, they have this guy dressed up as a woman, saying that she was the president of Hack, I believe, something like that. Parents against Sonic or against Sega, something like that. I don't quite remember. But in this commercial, this character is talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, that she dislikes Sonic, the why he's so fast, why he cannot be like Mario or something like that. And the thing is that I'm looking at the TV, I'm looking to this commercial, and I'm watching this blue character move so fast. And I say to myself, wow, I have never seen something like this before. And I was just hooked. And I say, I need that game. I really need it. And I didn't have a Sega Genesis. And the damn thing actually cost 800, so $180. That's how much the Genesis cost at that time. And I said, I really want that game. And it was really hard for my mom to actually get me the NES. And so asking for another video game system was out of the question. But I used to went to the mall to walk around, watch the stores, and watch the video games in the store and all this stuff. On the weekends, on Sundays, my best friend actually, he visited some family members on Sundays, so I was alone on Sundays. So I just went to the mall alone and window shop during the whole day. And I remember one day walking on the mall, I decided to go to Toys R Us. And Toys R Us is outside the mall, and I have to cross the street to get to Toys R Us. And I'm walking through the parking lot, and all of a sudden I found a pack of money underneath a car. And I said, what the hell is that? And when I reached in, there's a big pack of money. And I put it in my pocket. I went into the store. I went into the bathroom, and I closed myself in one of the bathrooms. And I started to count that money. It was like almost $500 or $600, something like that. And I said, holy shit. And the thing is that the bathrooms were right in front the place that they have all the game systems in on these crystal shelves and stuff like that. And I remember that going out, and there was the Genesis. And the Genesis at that time on the commercial says that if you bought the Genesis between this month and the other, I don't remember the months, you can actually order completely free by mail Sonic the Hedgehog. And there is the Genesis that comes with a coupon, $180. I just found $500 on the street, and I say, fuck, I'm gonna buy it. And I just remember picking up the old card that you're supposed to pick up. You remember those papers back in that time, the Toys R Us? You pick up the paper, you went to the cashier, pay, and then you went to a window and take the video game or the system. Well, I picked up my Genesis that way. Now the thing is that my old Genesis came with Altered Beast. It was the original Genesis system with the high definition graphics model and all that stuff. And it comes with Altered Beast, and it has the coupon for Sonic the Hedgehog. I mail it in, and then actually it took quite a bit to get here. Remember that time there was no internet. There wasn't the ordering stuff through the internet that you just fill in all the information in the internet and just wait 2 weeks to get to your home, the item to get to your home. No, you have to wait until that thing gets to them, and so they process that order, and then they would ship the game to you. It actually could take about four weeks to, well, a month. It could actually take a month. Now the thing is that in that time we were at school, we were at finals. I don't remember if it was for summer or if it was for Christmas. I don't know how they do it on the U.S., but here on Puerto Rico we actually have finals for Christmas because we take December off, almost the whole month off. But the thing is, I remember we were taking finals, and the finals actually started on Wednesday. You actually took 2 exams on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and the last 2 on Friday. So the first day was on Wednesday, and I took my 2 final exams. And you were actually out from school right about at midday, 12 o'clock. The thing is that I get out and I'm walking home, and I have this sensation, and I started to think, gosh, if Sonic arrived today, it would be awesome. And I have that in my mind all the way back home. And the thing is that when I finally get home, I found the game. The package was right on top of my bed. I opened it up, and when I reached for this thing, I was the happiest kid ever. The thing is that actually I popped the game into the Genesis just to look at it, and I play a few of the levels and all that stuff. But I have to leave it aside because I have to study because we were having finals. So I didn't touch the game for the rest of the day. On Thursday, I didn't even watch it. I just went into the books. And then on Friday was the last day. The last day of final exams, the last day of school. When I arrived home, I popped that thing in the Genesis, and I played all the way through. I remember that actually stopped playing like 6 o'clock for going to dinner and all this stuff, and then I resumed gameplay at 7. By midnight that day, I already finished Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't actually have all the Chaos Emeralds, but I actually finished the whole game in one sitting, and it was the most amazing thing ever. This little dude here is the main responsible for me to jump from Nintendo to Sega, and I have to say, I actually made one of the greatest decisions in gaming of my life, because ever since, the Genesis became my favorite system of all time. I love all my system. I have an Atari 2600, my NES, my Game Boy, my Super Nintendo, my Genesis, all the systems that I have. And I love each and one of them. And the biggest system that I have with the biggest memories in gaming is my NES and my Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. But the Genesis is the one that actually holds a very special place in my heart. It is my favorite video game ever, and the video game system ever. Sorry. And the thing is that this game actually made me do that job, and I say thank you for the creators of Sonic, because I love this freaking game, and this is one of my favorite games ever, and I have kept it the same way since I actually got it. I actually gave it away on a time because I needed money, and I sold it to a friend of mine, but it ended up going back to me. So it's like I lent it for money. But it's still with me. I have the same box, the same art, Teeny Winky, the same card, the same book, everything is still with me. I'm not parting from it ever again. So this is the tag video, so I really have to tag somebody. Sandamtod actually tagged 3 people. I'm gonna tag 4. And the 4 people I'm gonna tag is, the first one is Charassic. I hope I'm saying the name right. Every time that I say your name, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm gonna leave the links for them on the description box, so if you haven't checked these channels, please do so. Also, I'm gonna tag a new guy that I got. I found this guy today. I don't know if it's actually pronounced this way, Swell 9380, or is SWL 9380. So please let me know. I'm also gonna tag Refresh 1009, and I'm gonna tag another guy that I found today, I believe, TheGameboyCollector. So I'm gonna leave the links for them on the description box. Please go and check their channels. They are pretty cool channels. And I'm gonna leave a link for Sandamtod too. If you don't know who Sandamtod is, which I doubt, because he's very well known. He's one of my best friends here on YouTube. But I'm gonna leave the link for him so you can actually check it out. Check those channels out, and you can actually do the tag yourself. If you actually like the topic and you really want to say your story of your favorite video game or whatever, please respond to this tag and let me know that you actually did that response. So I'm Vidium. I'm gonna be going now because I'm gonna continue watching more of your videos. So till next time, guys.